Wake up.
Whoa. You look terrible. Are you alright?
I don't know.
What happened to you?
2 men. They jumped me. Oh, my chest. Where's Lonnigan?
Lonnigan? Who's Lonnigan?
They must have taken him.
Trent, pull yourself together. Remember ASHcroft and the mission.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Come on, Trent. We got work to do.
Are you sure you're up for this?
I'll be fine.
Then I'll see you when you get back. Good hunting.
Dramatic cigarette throw. Watch it waft in the wind. Boom. Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to another fantabulous round of Freelancer, the commentary, now with added cigar throwing. 'Cause that's a newfound popular term in Liberty.
There you are. I was starting to wonder if you were really okay. You are okay, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. So what was going on down there? Who's Lonnigan?
I met him on Freeport 7. We just signed a deal when the station was attacked. He was injured and has been in medical ever since. I've been waiting for him to recover to get my money back.
And? What did he say?
Nothing about the money. He said he escaped from medical and that people were after him. I thought he'd lost it, but then these 2 guys appeared and shot him. Maybe he wasn't just paranoid. I'm never getting paid. Goodbye, million credits.
Hold on, we're almost at the trade lane.
So, even early on, things are starting to heat up a little bit, and it's kind of odd really. I never really realized how short some games usually tend to be. I mean, we're not even like, we're not even towards everything else, but I mean, I'm talking in terms of pure story content here. Like how early the whole Lonnigan, plot twist where things start to heat up a little bit with the intrigue and conspiracy aspects of the plot really begin to play. Again, you do have to do a couple of missions to build up your rank before this, so, you know, there is a few things that you do need to do, but, yeah. I mean, in terms of pure story content, things kind of get going right away, but, in any case, to kind of talk about our current mission, although chances are you probably already know about that from the cutscenes. Yeah, I mean, apart from chasing down Mr. ASHcroft, our artifact-lobbing gentleman, yeah, we're basically playing a round of intergalactic border security. Dun 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 dun. Whatever. I mean, I'm sure that's probably an international show in a lot of other parts of the world, but border security, at least for the Australian version, had like the sickest as hell theme song, but the show itself was kinda cap of shit. Or at least it was boring until they had like some absolutely drug-fucked people going a wee bit too loudly on customs officials. You know, like we all want to in a post-2001 airport security world. But in any case, so, yeah, before we get to our current destination, it's also here where we get to, well, access the jump gates. These are pretty much going to allow us access into different systems all around Liberty space, really. Yeah, again, I might have brought this up beforehand in a bit of a ramble, but there are pretty much 4 territories. In this case, Liberty being, you know, very American-themed aspects of space where Liberty has pretty much laid its turf. Then there's Bretonia, Great Britain, which is pretty much our second sector. And then there's Kusari space, which is Japan, which Japan also being part of the Alliance. I forgot to mention that in part 1. And of course, then you have Rhineland, which is Germany. Yeah, there is also a 5th sector of space, which was meant to be where the Hispania would have set up shop, but yeah, that is more towards Sirius space, and because of the fact that a lot of their descendants ended up becoming, you know, parts of the criminal cartel, especially as we warp into deep space, whoa! Entering the intro of Doctor Who, dun 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 warp. But yeah, for those of you expecting any sort of Star Trek shenanigans, no, there is no ships that can go Warp 7, Mr. Sulu, so, yeah, hence jump gate technology. Allowing you to travel vast distances with the help of, some warp gates.
We don't know which way he's going, but it looks like he's coming straight at you. Keep your
But anyway, what I was basically meaning to say, as for anything else, these pretty much allow you to access those different systems, and, to So to kind of get back on topic with the whole border security thing I was talking about earlier, here we're making use of that scanner that Juni gave us, that we apparently already have, because of fucky gameplay elements, to basically just scan oncoming ships and pick out which one is ASHcroft. But then again, legally speaking, in terms of Liberty Space, alien artifacts are quite illegal, and you know, since President Jacoby is planning to ban it as part of her, I don't know, what I assume to be part of her political policy as President of Liberty Space, yeah, we basically gotta play a bit of border patrol here. How little things change. But in any case, though, this shouldn't take too long because, well, you know, one little suspicious ship will slowly get in within our scanning range. Although it is a wonder why people haven't actually decided to shield a, you know, cargo hold, but then again, I suppose that would technically be illegal to authorities, so, I guess it would very much depend on, well, then again, I suppose they couldn't really do anything unless, of course, they had, like, a frigate where they could, I don't know, board and do that sort of thing, as opposed to, you know, doing official search. You know, as similar to what you could do in the present day with our cars and automobiles. What's that little ship down there? Yep, artifacts. I should've known. Let's get him and book him, King. Or we'll have to take a bribe of 200,000 and 3,400 credits. 'Cause, you know, we don't use space dollars in the future, just credits. But yeah, he's pretty much just gonna try and fight us, so instead, with our newly acquired, you know, Liberty police ship, we can take him down to size. Police ship versus police ship. Oh yeah.
Alright, Owen. Are you crazy?
Ceasefire, or you will be destroyed!
I hope you got good lawyers. This is abuse of power here. I'll sue.
Sean ASHcroft, you are under arrest.
I'm not ASHcroft, you jawhead. I'm really gonna have your butt.
What?
The name is Cosmo Van Nostra. Remember it. I'm about to be your worst nightmare, Flatfoot. This is wrongful arrest, harassment, and wanton destruction of my property.
King, our plan has failed. ASHcroft broke through our forces at Pueblo. We've lost contact with the station. Get there as fast as you can. Hurry.
Acknowledged. We're on our way.
Well, that wasn't ASHcroft, but, you know, he was still carrying alien artifacts anyway, so, yeah, I think he's gonna be under arrest regardless, so, yeah, no matter what generically sleaze-baggy-voiced criminal says with this, yeah, you're gonna hear from my lawyers, well, he's pretty much going to jail. But in any case, so, again, a lot of the smaller details about this, you know, President Jacoby banning artifacts and, you know, the whole attack on the Donau and Admiral Shiltsky being killed. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it might just seem like minor world-building details, but it does build into the greater whole, which, again, details large and small that Freelancer has to offer does build to, ultimately, a greater plot. I mean, even what we're doing right here, which just seems like your bog-standard border patrol with, you know, capturing ASHcroft and his alien artifacts, does, in fact, tie into everything that's going on, and, you know, stuff with Lonnigan, well now. Seems like, there's a lot of plot going on. So again, I mean, while I'm not exactly going to be showing off most of the Freelancer universe, so to speak, in terms of exploring the systems, you are at least going to be getting, you know, a good feel for the universe in terms of just, you know, how many factions are at play and, you know, just how many people are involved with the, you know, the plot at hand. I mean, everybody's got a fucking angle in this game, man, and, to some capacity, everybody's got some business. With some very grandiose sci-fi ideals. And I mean, I will say, as we're currently, you know, destroying some more Liberty rogues, it's, again, it is this game, you know, among a plethora of other influences that I've talked about all throughout this channel's history, you know, that did really fuel my imagination and give me a love of science fiction from a very young age, which, again, I just can dig like a shallow grave, man. And I mean, even to this day, like, I mean, looking into Freelancer and a lot of its world building, it's just a joy to go back to this game time and time again. And, sadly, no one else will ever really be able to experience this, unless, of course, they have that copy from yonks ago. And even then, if they want continued support, well, they pretty much have to rely on the modding community, which, you know, I mean, if there is anything I can say about, like, your, you know, PC games, or at the very least, Microsoft's briefed interest in, you know, putting Digital Anvil's effort into Freelancer, is that, again, it did pay off, at least for giving the game at least just something of a strong support base, but, yeah. I don't know, I mean, I'd say around, like, this point, 2003, was very much around about the point when Microsoft was, again, it didn't quite establish itself as, like, you know, the sort of, well, for lack of a better phrase, dude bro, like, ultra mature, extreme sort of games that they're known for now, or at least were popularly known for back, you know, around about the time of the late 2000s. Yeah, I mean, this was still very much when they were trying to establish themselves in both the PC and the Xbox gaming market, where obviously they did have their big hitter in Halo, but, you know, they were still experimenting with, you know, a bunch of different games just to sort of build up their gaming library, so to speak, and, you know, in some cases it did sort of work, other times they just sort of tried to buy out certain companies and it really didn't pan out for them, as they pretty much began to waste IP after IP, see Rare with, you know, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, Cameo and the Elements of Power, and of course a bunch of other things like when they have Banjo-Kazooie and then, you know, Digital Anvil with Freelancer and, well, pretty much how everything gradually went by the wayside until, you know, Gears of War and Halo were pretty much their two heavy hitters, and, well, nowadays it's arguable that they've sort of gone back to their old ways, really, you know, purchasing out companies since, you know, nowadays they have Activision, they've got, id Software and Bethesda, so, yeah, I mean, the likes of seeing Freelancer again is very, very minimal. Well, I mean, then again, you never know, something might come of it, or, you know, maybe in like a Mighty Number 9 Mega Man 11 kind of way, maybe with Chris Roberts' failure with Star Citizen, a Freelancer 2 could eventually be born. But, I mean, I sincerely doubt it, especially given, like, some of the flack that, you know, Starflyer and fucking, you know, No Man's Sky and whatever else has pretty much received over the recent years of being like, wow, infinite user-generated content, dude, wow, infinite space with fuck all to see. Bit of a shame, but, backwaste. In any case, we found, seen ASHcroft. More like Sean ASHcroft, But on a serious note, though, he's pretty much gonna turn tail and run, and, we gotta hunt him down for his alien artifacts. And something tells me that, they might have more than just, historical value. You know, to rich collectors going, oh yes, darling, look at this alien artifact that I'll flip from footage. But yeah, it does also tie into a bit of history with Freelancer in and of itself. Again, you don't exactly get to see a lot of this, but yeah, a lot of the alien artifacts actually began to get the, well, contraband status from, you know, out in the further depths of the Sirius system where, you know, the Hispania was going to settle, and that was, well, primarily because that's where a lot of the artifacts were found, and in turn, well, where they started to find some small alien organisms that were, you know, ended up eventually. And again, you don't really get to hear much of this, but this is very much the backstory of, you know, the Corsairs and, you know, the Xenos, I believe. Where, yeah, they were basically dealing in some drug contraband that contains alien parasitic organisms in it. So, yeah, let's just say that, if you're gonna get high, you're gonna be cruising with space with the aliens, dude! But yeah, in any case, things are getting intense. He's activated his cruise missiles, which is basically that little ship arrow thing you see right underneath there. So, yeah, you can pretty much just go right towards the waypoint as we're doing right now, and, yeah, that little arrow down below. Activate the cruise engines! Yeah, this is pretty much you going at max speed, but you can't fire your weapons or pretty much do anything else. So, yes indeed, it is very much all power to the engines at this stage. To chase down ASHcroft. We're coming to get ya! Although, incidentally, while we are still chasing him down, before we have a chance to, you know, have more combat and space flighty things, yeah, but again, in terms of some of the other menu items you also have, again, you can access your map right up there, you have, well, pretty much your map of the star system that you're currently in, as well as, you know, the greater map of the Sirius system as a whole. You have your inventory, which is basically all the contraband that you pretty much, you know, brought aboard your cargo hold. Again, there are various different weight classes and, you know, levels of which your ship can carry, so again, it does, you know, kind of make a little bit more sense for you to pick and choose what sort of fighters you want, and what you want in order to pick up contraband, which was there to tie in with the game's dynamic economy system. In essence, basically, buy low, sell high. Some planets will pay higher for certain, you know, things you pick up here and there, and other planets will, you know, have it as either commonplace or as a rare commodity, which you can trade, depending on what part of the galaxy and solar system you're in, so, yeah, big cash savings depending on what you trade. Very similar to what it's like in the real world, really, just with trade over different countries, so... Yeah, there is a lot that you can do in Freelancer if you know, want to make some big bucks and get the best ship and items. But yeah, not all the best items are going to be found on shop either, so some of which that you're going to need to survive your combat encounters, well, you'll just need to explore the galaxy for and find some top secret hidden shit, so yeah, it's very much all up to you. Oh, don't worry. We're ready. Yeah, we pretty much eliminated ASHcroft right then and there just as he was about to shit-talk us. Yeah. Don't worry, King. We already got him in a cargo hold. Hopefully he doesn't help himself to some of our space garbage. Trent's gotta eat and find himself a Sidewinder Fang. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of this, so, we need to fly to New York. Yeah. Pressure, huh? Yeah, this is also what tying into what I was talking about earlier. Alien artifacts. They are more than they seem, and, yeah, Rhineland discovered a whole carton of them. And they sent Admiral Shortsky to meet with President Jacoby, who was noticeably very anti-alien artifact. Me thinketh some kind of bribery was going on, or something more. I deduce, dear boy. But yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily the idea that, you know, Rhineland is, you know, completely for these ideas. Again, it's just basic human curiosity. Who are these inhabitants of the Sirius systems, and why are they interested in... You know, why did they leave their alien technology behind? Who knows, really? They're basic human curiosity that even us on Earth would delve into. Epic music for flying around, even though the danger is all pretty much past right now. Woo, yeah, woo. Okay, but facetiousness and singing along to the music aside, yeah, that mission's pretty much wrapped up. Now all we gotta do is just go home to New York, get a slice of space pizza, and everything is alright. Yeah, is there anything else though? This should probably be the last video that I upload for a while now, because, well, not that I upload, that I have to record my batch commentary, because I gotta get reviews started again, so, cutscene go now.
This is Juni. King, are you and Trent alright? What is your status? Over.
We're fine. Mission accomplished. We broke up ASHcroft's little party. He was getting ready to move those artifacts onto the black market when we took him down.
You didn't kill him, did you? I remember the last time...
Negative. Trent has him tied up in his cargo hold. He deserves worse.
He'll get what he deserves, but not until he's told us all we need to know. I'll make preparations for your arrival. Be careful heading back to New York. Intel advises that members of ASHcroft's gang might try to free him before we get him into lockdown. I'm still on Manhattan. Meet me there. Juni out.
Well, everything is safe. Again. But anyway, as I was saying beforehand, yeah, this is part 3 of Freelancer, which is where I'm currently at. Yeah, I was pretty much recording all of these from, you know, all the way back to, like, the tail end of Sonic X Shadow Generations all the way through to Freelancer part 3 that I'm recording right now. All within the span of a couple of days, really, so, you know, all of it was for the purpose of ensuring that you have something to watch, and, yeah, from this point on, I'm pretty much just gonna stop. I should have enough content to last at least, 3 weeks to a month, so, yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna be focusing on reviews from here on out, and, yeah, hopefully I'll get Sonic Adventure out within, well, March, hopefully. Which is the next review that I'm gonna be doing. I mean, I was initially gonna start off with Sonic Heroes, but, the media nerd sort of brought it to my attention that, you know, I should probably review Sonic Adventure just to complete the Dreamcast era, and, well, you know what, he was right. So, yeah. Lucky you. It's dedicated to you, media nerd. You are my favorite motherfucker! I told you. Didn't I?
To proceed directly to the battleship Missouri near Zone 21. I'll take charge of ASHcroft there.
Yeah, seems ASHcroft has some buddies that he was going to be selling his alien artifactos to. But yeah, something tells me that we're not quite done with our space combat yet. Much as we would want to be. The space roads, and again, I will say that in terms of a lot of the aesthetic value, again, like, I mean, a lot of the backdrops of, you know, the open road of space, well, open road, relatively speaking, of course, but again, a lot of the different backdrops of nebulas, you know, the sun off in the distance, a lot of the different planets you can see off in your view. Again, like, I mean, aesthetically, and in terms of sound design, like, I mean, Freelancer does have a nice balance between the ambient, spacey tracks, as well as, like, a lot of, you know, intense orchestral and techno music, which, again, really helps the game's atmosphere. You know, it builds a bit of mystery, but it also gets action-packed when it needs to be. I mean, to be honest, it is actually one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time, and, man, I just can't ever love it, dude. Oh dear, more Liberty rogues. We gotta destroy them. For justice. For ASHcroft. Well, not so much ASHcroft, more for the fact that we have to deliver him to jail for breaking the law. Because he betrayed the law! And I don't bring up that Judge Dredd reference idly either, because in terms of some handy-dandy trivia, yeah, a lot of the characters were actually designed by Judge Dredd co-creator Carlos Esquerra, so yeah. Again, part of the reason why this game has such a cool spacey sci-fi aesthetic, and especially with a lot of its characters, because again, I didn't really realize this until it was pointed out to me, but yeah, I do start to see a bit of resemblance between like a lot of the Judge Dredd sort of aesthetics, really. I mean, it does have, some areas of the game do definitely kind of reflect that a bit more with a lived-in sci-fi aesthetic, but, you know, you do definitely see that with how some characters are designed, and particularly, yeah, again, with some that we meet a bit later on. The most that really sort of got to me with was actually Junko Zane, where, again, she's not quite as armored as, you know, some of the judges from, you know, the Judge Dredd comic book, but, yeah, you do see a bit of similarities in the, you know, the LSF uniform here and there. But then again, in any case, so, that's just a cool little bit of aesthetic, and something that definitely does help the game, you know, have a bit of its own unique style. Again, there was a lot of great effort put into this game, which, again, it simultaneously makes me, well, saddened and also quite happy. I mean, saddened in the sense that, again, we never really got a continuation of Freelancer's universe, and, you know, it got to incorporate all the great gameplay elements that were cut from this game into a Freelancer 2. But at the same time, also happy because, again, I can, again, as cynical as this might sound, I can at least, you know, be safely happy knowing that, again, if there was to be a Freelancer 2, it would be safely away from any sort of fuckery that would attempt to either misinterpret a lot of the good that this game did, and in turn, you know, it just wouldn't end up being messed with, you know, by people just not completely understanding the source material and getting fucked over. I don't know, I'm just sort of rambling at this point, but it's been a long recording session. And a very long day at that, so let's deliver ASHcroft to the authorities, and on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal. Yeah, King, blah blah blah, yeah, whatever, shut up. I'll see you dudes and dudettes next time for more Freelancer, and, well, let's see if we run into Lonnigan again. Seems like a rather important guy. Catch you later.
Are you sure you brought enough men? He's unconscious in my cargo hold.
Trent, ASHcroft is a dangerous man, and I don't like to take unnecessary risks. Which reminds me, the bounty. And I owe you the access codes. They're both being uploaded to your Neuronet now. You'll also find an extra bonus.
Thanks.
You did a good job. You deserve it.
What's gonna happen to ASHcroft?
He'll be interrogated, of course. He's our best insight into the smuggling ring. I'm sure we can make him talk. Meanwhile, with your new security status, I suspect you'll be able to occupy your time while I'm gone.
Where are you going?
On assignment. I take orders too, Trent. But don't go too far. I might need you again. Soon.